Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Series 2 of Let's Play Rome Total War. Oh! I've been missing this game for about a month now because we haven't been playing it, but we're back! Back to do another campaign, back to rule the world once more, but from the perspective of a different person this time perhaps. However, just before we get in, I just want to quickly pop out that I am using my new gaming PC now, which, like I told you, costs about £1,000, and I've just bought it to play Rome Total War on, at max settings, mind you, so I've got something good going on. But yeah, I've just been playing this in max settings. It runs quite smoothly, so I'm looking forward to what we're going to be doing in this campaign, because in this campaign, we play as Rome's greatest enemy. No, not the Brutii. Carthage. This is who our new faction who you've chosen, though really it was a 5-way tie in a faction vote, so it was really a case of spin the wheel, but Carthage came out on top, and Carthage is who we shall play as in our new campaign, where there'll be no advice because we don't need it anymore, but we'll be taking it up a step. We're playing on hard this time. More challenge. And also, I'm going to remove a battle time limit because I don't like having a battle time limit on. And we are going to be playing the long campaign as well again, which means we will need to control 50 provinces and Rome. But what we're going to do this episode is we're going to review the starting position of Carthage, all the action, that's for episode 2. So if you want to get right into the action, please skip ahead to episode 2. But if you want to learn about Carthage, learn about our starting position, our starting tactics, stick around. So as you can see on this map, we're pretty spread out. We've got provinces here and everywhere, but we'll have a closer look once we're on the campaign map. Let's just quickly go through the bio. So by tradition, Carthage was founded by Queen Dido, who had fled from the city of Tyre in Phoenicia after her husband was killed by her brother. For those of you who don't know, Tyre is about here on the near Lebanon or Syria or whatever you want to call it. Even in days of legend there was a link with Rome because Aeneas of Troy, the father of the Romans, was the lover of Dido and then abandoned her. In her grief she killed herself, cursing Aeneas and her descendants as she died. So you can already see where the war starts. Carthage, the name means new town, continued to flourish, a Phoenician colony that outgrew and survived its parent land, the Phoenicians, and their successors, the Carthaginians, must be credited with the invention of glass, the bireme gallery, and with being expert traders thanks to their superb navigational skills. Even before the Greeks reached the western Mediterranean, Carthage was a superbly wealthy city, thanks to its mastery of the seas. Carthaginian colonies of the original Phoenician colony now ring the sea. Modern Barcelona is named after the famous Barca family. Carthage is a maritime power with only a relatively small landowning class to provide military land power. This, however, does not matter as long as Carthage continues to be wealthy. Its coffers pay for... An idiot's just lost his place. Its coffers pay for mercenaries in abundance when the city needs to go to war. And it is this wealth, mastery of trade and expansion along the Mediterranean coast towards Italy that brings Carthage in direct confrontation with the newly rising power of Rome. Now perhaps it's time for Dido's curse to have its full effects on the children of Aeneas. So we're going to be enacting Dido's revenge. Queen Dido, who fled from Phoenicia to Carthage and cursed the father of Rome. Carthage and Rome have never got on in the past, as we all know, and I doubt it's going to happen in this campaign either. Either way, I'm going to play the intro, so sit back, relax, and learn even more about Carthaginians as we get to grips with what we're going to do. Here we go!
Last night, the crying of the children kept me awake, and I had a terrible vision. I saw the fall of our city, bleached bones under a harsh sun. Carthage, gone. Why would Baal send such a vision? He's not cruel. He has watched over us. We have had victories aplenty in war. Our merchants sail to all corners of the world. And yet now, I fear I cannot help it. We are the envy of lesser people. They tell terrible lies about us. They do not understand, so they lie. But the Romans, they are the masters of falsehood. War will come. I'm sure of it. So, I will have no more false visions. And I think the children will be quiet tonight.
Carthage, as usual, completely fails to sell itself as we enter summer 270 BC. So, here we go then, Carthage. Paranoid people with a very paranoid life. But, here we are. The campaign map, with all that we now own. So, we are Carthage, and we own quite a bit of land to start with. So we're going to go over everything we own with a fine-tooth comb so we can work out our starting tactics. I've already formulated a few in my head while thinking about starting this campaign, because I've been looking forward to it a lot. But, as we can see, we currently own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 provinces out of 50, so we're already on a nice start. However, we are a very, very spread out people. We're effectively on 2 continents, or at least several islands. We've got our capital on Africa, Carthage and Thapsus. In Sicily we hold Lilybaeum, while the Scipii hold Messana and the Greeks hold Syracuse. We have complete ownership of Corsica and Sardinia thanks to the city of Corralis. However, it won't be long till the Julii or the Scipii will be challenging us for this. Parma is ours unless the Spanish have other ideas. And Corduba gives us our foothold in Iberia. So, we are spread out, and there is a lot for us to do this time. It's not as simple as the case it was with the Julii, where we could just spread out into Gaul, and simple as that. We've got to think about every frontier we own here. But my goal is, we're going to wipe out the Romans quite early on before they get too strong. Then we'll spread out across Africa, and make our way to conquering our original homeland of Phoenicia. That's our goal. Take Rome, and return to our ancestral homelands. So, let's go over everything we own. Let's just make sure we leave no stone unturned, for soon war will be inevitable with Rome. We are about 2 years away from the start of the First Punic War historically, and the Scipii could try and start this themselves. And we're about 50 years away from the Second Punic War, which is the one with Hannibal Barca, who we might try and emulate him a little bit in this campaign. So let's quickly bring up the faction summary window and see what we're playing with. So we'll start off with diplomacy. As you can see, we have no allies, well, we do have enemies. We have the rebels, but no protectorates. However, we do share borders with the Scipii and the Greeks, and most likely we do share a border with Numidia, who will probably start becoming a thorn in our side. We also share borders with the Spanish in the north, so we've got 4 factions to think about. Numidia, Spain, Rome, and Greece. Clearly we're going to have to make a few alliances and make a few enemies. So we're going to have to pick our wars carefully in this early stage of a campaign while we're still young. Financial, in terms of finance, we seem to be doing okay. We seem to be projected, if I do nothing this turn, we will pull in a profit of about 2,000 denarii. That's pretty good. Income overall, mining, we're making a lot. Taxes, we're making a fair amount. Trade, we're not making too much, but if we expand the olive branch to a few factions, we can probably bring in a fair bit of trade. Upkeep right now for army is standing quite high at 4,550, so we need to be careful with recruiting troops, or we don't recruit anything too large just yet. We'll keep an eye on where we're going to recruit. And as for faction, well, our capital city is naturally Carthage. We're led by Hanno. We have 14 family members at the minute to play with, and we control 6 regions, but we haven't won a battle well, we haven't even fought a battle yet. That's for next episode. So let's have a quick look at the lists then. So we've got Hanno, who's our faction leader. He's currently got 768 men, and he's sat in Sicilia Poeni, which means he is currently in Sicily on the march. So I have a choice of one thing I can do with him. I could either retreat into Lilybaeum and we'll play defensively and try and focus our efforts somewhere else, or Hanno, who I believe is based off Hanno the Navigator, who died about 500 years ago, well, 300 years ago, but who's counting. This was a very famous Carthaginian dude, discovered most of Africa, well, bits of Africa, and, well, yeah, he was really cool. But we currently have 768 soldiers as retinue, including round shield cavalry, elephants, Iberian infantry, yeah, we get these fucking guys, and after all my bad-mouthing of them, and we also have access to some mercenary Balearic slings and Numidian mercenaries. So with this, we could either antagonise the Scipii or antagonise the Greeks. I'll decide who I do bad to on the next turn. In Carthage, we have a factionaire Hasdrubal, who is, I believe, his father of Hannibal. He's currently 45 years old, and he's he's factionaire. He's got some decent traits about him, actually. I mean, we do seem to have decent people with decent traits. He's currently just holding the garrison and governing Carthage. Carthage's garrison isn't very strong though, just 2 town militias and Numidian mercenaries. Might want to look into buffing up Carthage's strength and also buffing up its income in case of Numidian attacks. We also have 2 navies. We have Admiral Fear, who is currently somewhere, I can't really see. Got too many windows open. Admiral Fear is currently docked near Carthage, and Admiral Timarson is currently docked near Lillebeum. So I might bring Fear into Carthage for now, although that's going to be for next turn. I'm not doing any moves. Burhus is currently governing Thapsus. He's got a small retinue of just weak garrison units once more. So he's keeping an eye on that area in case of Numidians. Might be a good idea to build walls at Thapsus early on. Same goes for Corralis as well, just once more in case. Ferges currently governs Lillebeum, so that means we have a fallback family member should things go wrong here. However, the garrison here is weak, so I think Carthage and Lillebeum, they're going to be the 2 key areas where we're going to be doing recruitment, because we do have 7,000 denarii to play with from the start as well, so how we invest these denarii at this stage of the game will probably be the difference between losing territories or gaining territories. Theodekelles, he currently governs Parma. Parma's quite out of the way, so we could we don't need to expand Parma, since we have a small garrison. It's not a lot, but what we could do with this area is we could probably just build it up, make it stronger, and use it as a good trading capital to maybe make relations with the Spanish and the Gauls. For anyone who becomes an enemy of Rome in this campaign will be a friend of Carthage. And historically, Hannibal did make friends with Lusitanian tribes up here, brought them along with his little expedition across this coast, over these mountains, and then straight into Rome. Well, not into Rome, he kind of went about here where Cannae is and made shit go sideways for the Romans, but either way, if we can't attack Rome by sea, these Alps might provide the answer if we make friends with the Gauls and the Spanish. And last but not least, let's see, do we have anyone else? Yes, we do. We have Theopanes. He currently governs Corduba. He has a strong garrison with him as well, just in case the Spanish don't like us, which is a good idea. I'm going to leave Corduba as it is, but we will probably build walls. So, there is a lot of work to do. We do need to shore up our initial defences, because it's most likely we'll probably be... I mean, I'm probably going to win at least 1 offensive war and probably about 2 defensive wars until we can really consolidate and strengthen our position. So I think my first main goal is going to be, we're going to take control of all of Sicily and start using it as a forward base to launch attacks against Rome. While we might not necessarily conquer Rome, we can keep them harassed and keep them slowed down. In Carthage and Thapsus, I am going to try and expand my power here, make sure we're strong here, and maybe eventually start making inroads into Numidian territory, or try and make peace with the Numidians and make them my trading partner, and the same will go for Egypt, who lies somewhere down here. And in Iberia, we are just going to try and make friends with the Spanish for now. However, I would like to maybe try and snag hold of Carthago Nova, which is just up here. And that would give me a stronger position on this coastline. But that's all we have time for today, folks. So that was just the overview, really. So overall, I'd say compared to the Julii, who we played as last, Carthage has a considerably weaker starting position, but we do have more to play with. While the Julii only had 3 cities, they did have the Roman factions at their back, which gave them a secure flank, and just the Gauls to the north. Here, we are contending with Numidia, Greece, the Scipii, and Spain. We are spread out, but we do have 2 settlements which are probably going to be safe for quite a while, which means we can probably use them to develop ourselves into quite a strong position. And we do have a good number of diplomats as well. We do have a spy here, but we have a diplomat in Carthage, a diplomat in Spain, which means we can use these 2 to try and get alliances with Spain and Numidia. And while we can focus our efforts on Rome, for we will be initiating a Punic War very, very soon. But that is where we are going to leave it for today, folks. So I hope you've enjoyed. I'm loving this PC, by the way. I can't wait to show you some really good battles. But next time on Let's Play Rome Total War Series 2, where we play as Carthage, we are going to look into attacking the Scipii or the Greeks. I'm not quite sure, but it really depends who wants to be my friend. It would be probably a good idea to recruit a diplomat from Lillebeum actually and send him to talk to Diodorus Agela, unless he talks to us first. Yeah, I think I will be fighting for Skippy Eye first, but we'll do that next turn or next episode. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all on the next episode, folks. Get ready for Carthage to take over the world now. For Julie, I had fair time, but this time I'm rewriting history. There's gonna be no Roman Empire, just the great big Carthaginian trading network empire-y thing. Oh, it's going to make me so much money, this, isn't it? Oh, I'm looking forward to it. See you all in the next episode.